Welcome back to Chow Time Pods. Your host, Red. I got a video today from the Modern King. He's the most patient man I've ever seen.
Fire sometimes, though.
Okay, put it out.
I don't know how to put it out.
Stomp on it.
I want to let it go.
Then let it go.
Again, I've actually been to the Lantern Festival last year. It was pretty nice, but yeah, you just let it go as it wants to rise.
It's burning my fingers.
Oh my gosh, put it out.
Because I don't know how to put it out.
Stomp on it. Put it down and stomp on it.
I don't know how.
Then, or let it go then. Pick one. Pick one.
Stomp it out for me.
Pick one.
Stomp it
Let it go or put it out.
Stomp it out for me.
Put it
Josiah,
down then.
It's too strong now. The whole thing's burning.
Let it go.
How?
Let it go.
You believe in me?
Let it go or put it out. Pick one.
What if we cause a fire? Josiah. No. Oh, God.
Good thing he stomped on it, because he could have caused the fire. Dad finally signed the divorce papers.
The sad thing about the term mansplaining is that it pathologizes one of the more innocent and sincere aspects of male psychology, namely that men, and this is not just exclusive to men, but it's just natural for men, but men from a very early age, like when they're a little boy onward, are interested in building a mental model of the world.
Correct.
Like it's not enough to have GPS. They want to know all the roads and the streets around them and have it in their head type thing.
Correct.
Like that. And I'm sure you've noticed this with your dad. Like your dad knows a little bit about everything. He's not an expert on many things, but he just knows random stuff about different wars throughout history and politics and all this stuff. And it's kind of a patchy knowledge, but it's because he was grasping for little pockets of truth and trying to build his model as he was growing up. And so many of the times when a guy is like mansplaining to a girl, he's really just excited to share his mental model with that girl. And he actually is sharing his mental model as like a little gift. It's like a little kid showing you their artwork. Like they're proud of it. And that's why they get excited about it. And I think that excitement gets misinterpreted as being like oppression, like he's trying to just talk over me and like he's trying to talk down to me, but it's really like he's like, oh, I've modeled this, I'm gonna share this with you type thing.
So true, right? Because when I figure something out that's difficult, I like to share it. I want to tell my friend, look, this is what I did, this is how I did it, and fuck, it worked. It worked. Right? But when women hear that type of stuff, they think we're trying to feel superior to them because we have to talk to them and explain it to them. And it's like, no, if I didn't explain it to you, you wouldn't understand my thought process of how I came to this conclusion. Right?
And yeah, I'm sure there's times where you know exactly what he's going to tell you, or maybe even know more than what he's going to tell you, but it's just his way of like gift giving.
Women think the relationship is all about them.
Of course.
They do. Everything is centered around what she wants. And if that's fine, in her mind, everything is cool. And she does not care what the man is going through. She don't care what his challenges are, or any of those things. So what ends up happening, the male believes that he keeps the marriage together because if he goes to cheat or whatever, like those 41 shades, for different reasons, they left you with the marriage because the marriage was all you wanted. You didn't actually want the man. You wanted the marriage.
The fairy tale.
You wanted the fairy tale. So the man feels that he gave.
They want the marriage, but everything the marriage entitles, but without their responsibility and contribution to the marriage.
You what you wanted. You wanted the marriage. You wanted the money. You wanted the kids. You wanted all of this crap. And never consider what he's mentally going through. Never considers what he invests into the relationship. A lot of men deal with this. And so what they end up doing is getting things outside of the relationship. And what? The woman is still mad.
The funny thing is, it took her dating women to finally realize men were telling the truth. Before this, she would say things like this.
Are you no longer attracted to men?
No, because
I need a deep emotional connection, and I need someone who is intelligent. Men are incapable of both of those things. I have outgrown the quote unquote intelligence of a male because their intelligence that I perceived as intelligence is no longer intelligence. It's cookie cutter. They can't tell the truth. They can't bow down to actual wisdom, right? It's all about.
You think you have actual wisdom to share upon a man?
Power for men. It's not about anything that is remotely good for humanity or anybody else. It's all selfish. And unfortunately, that's a
Right, because society was built by women, right?
major turnoff to me. What I was attracted to in men was this idea that they were these great leaders, right? That because I like people like General Patton. I like well put together people. Well put together. Well,
And you really thought that was women.
well disciplined, right? But not only discipline, you got to have some humanity about yourself, right? You got to be about equity. The male is just not that. General Patton and people like that, they are exceptions to the rule. The average male is nowhere near the exception to the rule, and I just can't get with it. The male is fire. The male has to be controlled. If you do not control the male, you will set the world on fire. And that's what you see right now. The world is set on fire. Men were not designed to raise kids. They weren't designed to do that.
But yet we're still better at it than women.
All it took for her to do a complete 180 was to simply get some skin in the game by dating women herself, as doing so opened her eyes to what it was actually like, not what she assumed it was like.
If I was a man, every woman would want me because I would just love and cherish them and tell them how beautiful and precious they were and kiss them on their foreheads, play with their hair, buy them gifts, take them to nice dinners, spoil them,
And be broke.
worship them, and make sure that every day that they knew that they were the most magical and beautiful creature in the world. Yeah, if I was a man, I would do that. It's weird that you men can't keep these women around.
How many hours do you work, Eric?
60 hours a week.
60 hours a week. And how many hours do you work at home?
The same. More. All day, all night.
Really? And then you woke up and realized you were dreaming, you mean?
Yeah.
So, gentlemen, if you don't spend copious amounts of money on a woman, they're going to try to shame you into doing so by a couple of different methods. And here's how.
Only guys that don't have money call other men simps.
So there's that. And then there's this.
Because other men actually are straight and like women and like to please women and cater to women. They feel like if you like women and you cater to women that you're a simp, but really, those guys are just gay.
Right then. So that was a very blatant attempt at
I was gay.
emotional manipulation. And it's just my opinion, but the types of ladies that put out those particular statements are not at all interested in having a man who is self-confident, knows himself, and has good self-esteem. No, they are in fact only interested in those types of men that are easily manipulated into getting them to do exactly what they want, which is unfortunately spending large amounts of money on them. So gentlemen, please don't fall for these types of shaming tactics, because at the end of the day, most of the women that put out statements like that are only after your money.
And they're broke, dusty, musty crusties.
The reason why she tries to shame men into compliance with her demands is simply because it's the only way she can get men to do what she wants.
Correct.
These types think that men's sole purpose is to serve them without question, and any man who doesn't must have something wrong with them.
Marriage is all about compromise. So in building this house, we really experienced a lot of that compromise. I got to pick out some things, he got to pick out some things, and we want to show you around to the things that we both chose. You ready to show everybody around? Okay, so we have this awesome pantry. Watch this. Isn't that amazing?
Our mailbox is a fish.
We have these little
Nice.
misty gates that slide across for the dogs.
We're noodling! We're noodling over here!
This is an induction stove.
You only get to pick one thing, the mailbox? Come on.
Honestly,
I got it, buddy!
underneath all the washers and dryers are going to be baskets were.
Hi, my name's Joel. I had to pull this car out of a creek, cut off the bumper, the windshield wipers don't work, all because somebody missed a driveway.
Hi, I'm Sarah.
Hi, my name's Joel, and because my wife threw a bottle of Tito's at a spider, put a hole in our ceiling, and then covered it up with a fish, I live with this above my head every day.
Hi, I'm Sarah.
Hi, I'm Joel. Because someone can't keep her car on the driveway, I'm working on a little fishing pond here in the front.
My name's Sarah and...
Hi, my name's Joel. Because somebody tailgates and hit a flying turkey, I have to get this windshield replaced.
Hi, my name's Sarah.
Hi, I'm Joel. Because somebody sleepwalks, I had to install this fancy little lock on the top of our door.
Hi, I'm Sarah.
Hi, I'm Joel. Because somebody had so many clothes, I had to clear out my office and install all of these. Get these over here too. Cabinet 1, shoe cabinet 2.
Hi, I'm Sarah.
Hi, I'm Joel. Because someone took advantage of me, I had to turn this whole half the basement into a room for children.
Hi, I'm Sarah.
Hi, I'm Joel. Because of someone else's poor decisions,
Bro. You are an awesome husband.
I have a fire extinguisher.
Hi, I'm Sarah.
What do you want from a man?
I want a man who wants to build something together.
You want the 50-50 chicks. Okay, good luck with that.
50-50?
Meaning you want a partnership.
No,
Yes?
I want his money.
You want his money.
Yeah,
To do
I
what?
want to build with his money. My money is the backup plan.
Hold on, you're not hot enough for that.
Oh.
I mean, honestly, you want his money. I wish you would go tell somebody with money that you want it. Are you that hot at 35?
Inside and out?
No, that's all that matters is outside first.
Okay, outside, yes.
No. Where would you rank yourself on a scale from 1 to 10? You cannot use 7.
A 4.
You think there's a hot 4?
Yes.
So, how long you been on the planet Earth?
Let's have a serious conversation
I'm
here,
having
Kevin,
a serious
'cause-
conversation. I don't play on my show.
Right.
Where do you rank yourself? That's what I asked. You said a 4, and I said, are there hot 4s? You said yes. Who became unserious or obnoxious first?
And also, I'm going off of the fact that you said I'm not hot.
But I'm asking you, what would you rank yourself?
But this is your show.
But that's not what I asked. See, now we're getting to it. And I just asked you simple, straightforward questions that you say you've heard me ask. But look at how you're responding.
Right. Defensive.
Yeah. You're not hot enough for that.
She said she
He put these women on game, right? He told these women straight up, be better, improve, do a lot of things, but they're not going to qualify for the men you truly desire because they're going to just blow through you. And even then, they might not blow through you when you're a 4.
wants to build with his money and use her money as the backup plan. In plain English, that means she wants him to take all the burdens and risk without her having to contribute. And if it doesn't work out, she can leave and find the next man to leech off of.
Because to them, peace looks like happiness. And they don't like happiness when they're not around.
True.
She's not going to preserve your peace. And I know there's some women in here like, no, I'll preserve my man's peace. And you're a liar. Because think about a time your man was in the room by himself, staring off into the distance, smiling. And you walk past the room. Did you look at him and go, he looks happy. I'm going to leave him by himself. He looks happy. Or did you go, the fuck is he smiling about? It better be me. It better be me.
You know, it's so true. Like, I've dated quite a bit of women now that really don't like it when I'm just by myself, you know, content, happy, maybe smoking some ganj, maybe watching an anime on my phone or something in the garage. They're always, let's go do something. Well, seems like you have free time. Let's go do something. Like, yeah, I have free time for myself. Please like, subscribe, comment down below. I really appreciate that. And I'll catch you guys next time.